Hello everyone, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Phil.
And have we got sound and have we got
Picture? We got picture.
video? We got
I know
video.
we got picture.
Do we have sound? That's the next question.
I know.
I think we're okay. I've been fiddling around because we didn't have, and I think I fixed it.
Caroline fixed
Oh,
it.
sound, yep, brilliant. Thank you. That's great. Thank you, Phyllis.
They've got sound in Tennessee, so
Yes.
if they can hear us in Tennessee, it must be working.
Must be working every bit.
I would assume so. Not that we're saying Tennessee is the back end of beyond or anything. It's just a long, long way from where we are.
It is, yes.
Because we're in Wales, in case you hadn't recognised the accent. We're in Wales.
So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. And I noticed, I'm going to have to go. I've lost the place now. Is it Doris Noch is in from Germany? And I think you're saying, Doris, that you can't type unless it's in German, possibly. I speak like a minuscule amount of German. So, hello, Doris. It's lovely to have you join us.
Yes, and some of our family are actually on their way to Germany at the moment. They're on a tour of Europe with their Tora. And our daughter-in-law being German, they're heading into Germany to visit family. So,
they are.
Although we can't speak the language to communicate easily with you, Doris, at least we can tell you we've got a relative from those parts.
Yes.
And if Anya was here, she'd be able to have a wonderful chat to you. And she'd be glad to.
And Beata, we got Beata normally comes in, but Beata's in Paris. I think Paris, she's in France.
I'm not sure. She's definitely travelling again.
We've got a lot of happy travellers in our channel. Everybody seems to be popping off somewhere or other.
Saying that, knowing Beata, she just might pop up on her phone somewhere and say, hello, just popped in. Because she is a regular.
Let's have a look who the first three in to see first people on the podiums of the night. And first one is Ian Davis. Well done, Ian. Second place, Tina Thompson. Well done, Tina. And in third place is Laura Sully's Creations. Well done, Laura.
Oh,
you're
good.
keen tonight. You're keen.
Yes, indeed. And thank you for all your laws.
Yes.
Sorry, Caroline keeps signalling to me that I'm not looking at the camera, but that's because I'm trying to look at what's happening in the chat as well. So I end up looking down here and talking to you at the chat, and you're seeing the top of my head. So I'm sorry if I keep doing that tonight. I'm rather tired, so my coordination is not quite...
Phil's not usually this bad, but he's really
be.
tired. He had a massive funeral this morning.
I did.
Yeah.
And I don't usually work a Saturday, but it was very big, it was very complicated and different. So it'd been quite stressful for a few days as I was reliant on so many other people to get things right. But congratulations to everyone involved because they pulled it together and did a fantastic job as we celebrated our young man's life on a rugby pitch.
Yes.
So that was very different, but it does mean I've been up since 6 and so with all of it's brain work as well as everything else, but as I say, I'm glad to be here. And I just said to tech support Tim now, he said, best of luck. He said, with a live show, I said, this is a walk in the park to this morning. If things go wrong on you, we just all laugh. If things go wrong in my job, then obviously I've got a massive responsibility to carry. There we go.
And Rachel said, is that a dinosaur wearing a wig? What dinosaur?
What wig?
There's no dinosaur in here. No. What's it all shouting?
That's a cow.
He's behind me.
There's a cow playing a saxophone.
Yeah.
Is this what you're referring to? Is it a cow playing a saxophone? We've definitely got a cow playing a saxophone.
As doesn't everybody?
Well, yes. You wouldn't expect to turn up on a Saturday Night Live show without a cow and a saxophone.
Oh, these people, they have play buttons from YouTube and YouTube signs. Oh, that's so passe. What you need is a cow and a saxophone if you want to be anybody on YouTube.
Saying that, mind, I wouldn't turn down a play button if we ever get to one.
Yes.
I wouldn't say no. I'd say yes, thank you very much. But for now, we just like to be different. So you can't get much more different.
Yes, it is a dinosaur wearing a wig.
Yes.
Mankey has been playing all day with his dinosaur and he's been doing hairdressing, and this is the style that Mankey decided would suit the dinosaur come on, look, watch Mankey. This is the design that Mankey thought was the best style for the dinosaur for the evening. Who am I to argue with Mankey?
Well, I've got to be honest, I think Mankey's got a point. Because he's been reading in the news this week that there's ideas now that maybe some dinosaurs lived underground. And then they say this dinosaur did this and that. So like he said, how do they know dinosaurs didn't have hair?
Exactly, curly ringlets.
And he just felt that giving them a bit of hair made them look much more approachable. So that's Mankey's theory. Mankey thinks he's discovered because I think the largest dinosaur discovered in 100 years was found on the Isle of Wight as well, he was telling me. Something like that happened in the news this week. So he's discovered the first hairy orange dinosaur. So
Far away Portal said, you never know what you're going to see on this channel. This is true.
You don't. Any channel that both the hosts actually hold conversations with a 9-inch tall panda, you cannot be sure what's going to happen next.
No. Strange things could happen at any time.
Yes, indeed.
And a strange thing's going to happen now. You'll never guess what's going to happen now.
I can't believe it.
We're going to have a question before halfway through the programme. Right, so let's have a question.
Go on then.
If I can find my little thingy. And don't forget, if you're new in here, but if you're new in, don't put your answer in until I say go, because it gets very complicated otherwise.
Yeah, when Caroline says go, you put in your A, your B or your C, and it's the first three to appear on my screen. Now, that may be different on different people's screens because of the way the internet works. Sometimes we've had slight discrepancies, but we can only go with that. And ultimately, the fun is getting involved. And as I always say to everyone, make a note of how many you get right through the night and see if you can set yourself a personal best, even if you don't get in the top three. But there is the gold, the silver and the bronze podium. So let's see who's going on a podium position with our first question. And this is a question about mining or related to coal mining.
Can I interrupt you again? I'm really sorry.
No, you said, let's get a question done before we end up halfway through the show.
turns
And now you're going to get me halfway through the show before I've done a
We've
question.
got our own translator in tonight.
Oh,
because
excellent.
Rita Malberg has translated for us and said, Doris said, "Hi, lovely people. Greetings from Germany. I sadly can only write in German." Also, I was nearly there. I was
That's
almost
lovely.
Like, thank you ever so much, Rita, for translating, and thank you, Doris.
And I'm sure that people will be able to reply to you, but probably in English. But there may be one or two out there who know a greeting in German and will use it, because it's lovely that everything is so international.
Yes.
And friendly. And question time.
Yes, quick, ask a question. Quick,
Right.
why interrupt you again?
Now, as you know, every question is in some way, sometimes more loosely than others, connected to the video we watched together in the premiere last night. Well, this one is not loosely connected. This is really, to talk about coal mining is smack on, because all of the ground that we were walking on that hillside is not earth. It is waste from a coal mine. And it is treacherous to walk on because the incline is like that. It's then all made up of coal waste, so as you tread on
I said I
it.
wouldn't interrupt you, and I'm sorry I have to interrupt you. Oh, Brian O'Brien has given us a coffee donation.
Thank
you
you,
so
Brian.
much, Brian. That's really kind of you, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We do. We appreciate your gift tonight and
especially when
all
you
your
interrupt
support. Yes, if you've been supporting us for some time, Brian, and we really do appreciate it, as we appreciate all our supporters, all our viewers, all the people who give us likes,
Yes.
all the people who share our videos. It
You're
all
a
helps
lovely group of people.
it all helps to grow the family. Anyway, to get back to this question, which at 5 past Caroline said we were going to do, and it's now coming up to 10 past.
Faster.
As I was saying, we were walking on coal waste, and along the way, Caroline found a couple of lumps of coal.
I did.
One quite a size, and said if we had an open fire, we could take it home and burn it. Well, it turns out we probably shouldn't, because I'm not sure if it's illegal to burn, but it is now illegal to sell. No coalman will deliver coal for an open fire now. That coal has been banned for burning in the UK.
Which is good, I suppose, we don't have an open fire, because I would have liked to have brought it home.
But I think you can use smokeless in boilers and things like that.
You
But,
can't burn a smokeless
but I think
on
it's
an open
the
fire. I don't think.
the open fires are no longer a thing. They are, but they have to use low carbon type replacement fuel, which is interesting because my question is regarding the size of the mining industry in the UK and the number of miners that were employed, including myself, from 1977 to 1989.
I can never remember.
I finished in August 89. I was 28. I worked in the mines. So I'm counted in here somewhere. There were 1,191,000 miners working in the UK in 1920. So 100 or so years ago, 1,191,000. But that had fallen to 247,000 by 1976. So down by over 75%. What was the number of miners in the UK in the year 2015? Was it A, 20,000, B, 2,000, or C, 200?
Go! In what year was that?
2015.
2015.
9 years ago. How many miners? 100 years ago, we had 1.2 million almost working in the mines. And the year that I went to work in the mines, I got an apprenticeship, and they took on over 100 apprentices in this area in that one intake. Whereas now we don't have any mines, deep mines in South Wales or
And is this counting
the UK.
deep mines?
This
or
is miners working.
anywhere, even in a drifter?
All I can say is, when I looked up the thing, it said the number of miners working in the UK.
Right.
So that's what it said, and then you had
so
all
it's
this,
a bit ambiguous.
all the data.
Okay, so that changes your answer though, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know.
'Cause I don't
Just
know
how
many-
much detailed information do you have?
I don't know, but when you think we got open cast mining, does it include open cast mining miners?
Don't know. I shouldn't think
Are
so.
they a miner in an open cast mine?
Not if you're driving a lorry around with a big truck and blowing things up from above. No,
Not definitely.
no, I would say miners working down a mine.
Okay, down the mine. Down
Down a mine.
the mine. Okay.
Not a real miner if you're driving a dirty great big truck with
You may
wheels.
find they are and you'll be in trouble now. They'll all be driving their dirty big trucks round to sort you out.
No, that's not mining. That is excavating.
Well, why do they call
Open
them...
cast.
Why do they call it open cast mining?
I don't know.
We could have an argument on here.
Nothing new there, is it? Anyway, I should go
never
and look at
agreed,
these
yeah.
answers because these
Yes.
good people are sending us answers.
Okay, so I know what I'm
and
going for.
they're
but I'm
feeling
a
neglected.
bit unsure now. So where's the answer on the
Top question.
top question? Oh, I'm right.
Oh, there we are. Let's see who else agreed with Caroline.
One of the reasons I thought about it was because at that time I think Tower Colliery in Wales was still open, and they would have had a fair amount of miners working there. So that's why I thought it's not going to be 200. It's going to be more because there were a few little mines up in England too, maybe big ones as well. That's what I was going on anyway. That was my theory.
I can tell you that by 2022, I think it was, the number of miners was down to 365. So obviously it was more than 200. And it was actually the most popular answer that's come in, which was B. It was 2,000 miners working in the industry.
We've got some debate here about what is a miner. Ed said not a miner if you're working in a quarry because you'd have to be an adult. Oh. Then we have another interesting thing. Sue Smith said is that gold mines too?
No, coal mines.
Oh, right.
I tell you what.
Hello, Rufus.
It wouldn't alter the numbers much if you had gold miners in Wales because we haven't got any.
We do have a bit of clog eye gold.
Yeah, do they mine that up there now?
I don't know. I think they're still mining it, but there's very little left.
It was
I think.
coal miners. Coal miners. Because
this turned to be a very confusing question.
Because there are none now. Here we go. So B was the correct answer. So I can tell you the first three answers in were correct.
Well done.
So first answer in, Dan Fetters.
Well done, Dan.
You're on the gold. West Country Mudlark.
Well done, West Country Mudlarks.
And Sharon Paget.
Well done, Sharon.
So that's 3 in a row. Going for the same answer as you.
Yes.
2,000.
Got something right.
2,000 miners. Of course, I was in the mines from 77 to 89. So I was out on strike for a full year back in the early 80s. And experienced a lot of interesting things working in the mines, including at least 2 occasions when I know I almost got killed. Once almost got run over by a dram, and once almost got blown up. But that's the 2 I know of. So even in our day, when it was a lot safer than it would have been in 1920, a lot safer. it was still not the safest of places to be. But this may not be something you didn't know. It was safer than working on a building site. Building sites were
the most
in the day.
dangerous,
I don't know about today because I haven't looked at the figures, but back in the day when I worked in the mines, it was more dangerous. It was more hazardous. There were more dangers to be encountered, and possibly in the mining scenario, you were very aware of the fact you were in a strange environment, so it made you more conscious.
And I suppose everything was really tightly regulated as well, which it isn't on a...
On a building site, the
they're
rules
more
are
now,
there,
but there were much more strict rules back in those days, even in the mines.
Well, when I was studying, even as an apprentice fitter and an engineer, I still had to learn all of the legislation stuff, and there were 3 books, 1 green one and 3 blue ones. The green one was the Mining Act, and the 3 blue ones were the mining legislation. There's a lot of rules on mining there was back then.
Ed said, I think there are more bottle miners now.
Yes.
There is. Bound to be.
Indeed. There's, as I say, we have met a few. And they definitely
We've been
do.
in a few holes where they've been as well.
Yes. Okie dokie.
Then, so let's have some pints. Let's have some pints.
Do you want to go for a pint? Do you want to go for a pint? What are you going to show me?
I'm going to go for my spongeware, which doesn't mean it was made for cooking sponges in. It was printed using a sponge. And look at that. I've got one, I don't know where it is now, one spongeware bowl like this that's whole. And it's got a crack, a really bad crack, but it's whole. And I've never had, other than that, a complete spongeware piece. This is the second place because this is the biggest chunk I've ever had of spongeware. I don't think it's in there. I think it was in my room. Could be anywhere now.
I thought it's
Maybe just having a conversation. Carry on and chat amongst yourselves. Sorry, but yeah. So this, if I didn't have the whole bowl, this would be pretty spectacular. But the whole bowl pips it. But usually we get shards about this big of spongeware, and not that many. We did used to get a lot more when we used to go up to Yorkshire, but then suddenly the rivers changed course. There are a lot more people going up to Yorkshire looking for finds, so I don't think we found spongeware up in Yorkshire for a long while now. We did have a fair amount compared to Wales. Then again, everybody's got more things compared to Wales.
our
couldn't
first
find
ever.
it.
No, I just went
I'll
looking.
go have a quick look when
I knew I
to the next
had
question.
seen it somewhere.
I've seen it not that
seen
long
it.
ago.
Yeah.
It's not holding any of my finds. So.
Definitely around somewhere. But yeah, as you say, we do find a lot more things. You know, we don't find as much of the good stuff down here. That's why I was so excited about our pipe find this week, because we were in Wales. I'm always excited to find bits of clay pipe, but our first ever clay pipe bowl and clay pipe stem, I think, was up in on our first trip to meet Tom. That's going back a couple of years now.
I really can't ever think of finding a pipe until, because the first one I ever found was by Phil and Tom's feet, and I was like, did you plant that there for me to find? I could not believe that you would just find a pipe stem bowl about this long just lying on the beach. And they were, no, we didn't see it. And so it was just amazing. One video we've done, I think we found 17 different pipes. It was lovely, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We went all pipes.
I actually did a photograph to go on the thumbnail, and I was holding my hands like that, and my hands were full of pipes that we had found in one visit to the river. It was absolutely amazing at that time. But Ribble Finds is saying, find 1 or 2 small bits down the river. I think I remember seeing you picking up one bit there, Sid. I'm pretty sure I do.
And Lexi saying she found a piece in Lincoln. And Rufus said, I found a small bit with a sponge the other day.
Yeah, I tell you,
I don't think that counts as a spongeware. Well, it may do.
And it's great to see you back, Rufus. I was reading in the comments on last night that you've gone to slightly warmer climes than Wales with your work these days.
Yes, I know. Do you need somebody to carry your suitcases?
Dubai.
Right then. So next we go to have.
Should I do a find?
Oh, look how organised we look today.
There you go.
Here we go. You ready for something a bit Grecian?
Yeah, Caroline did her broken bit, so I'll do my broken bit. I've given us a bit of a clean up. And there is a lovely glaze to this. There's a salt glaze, I think they call it. Is it that effect that's on there that they've got on it?
I think so. I'm not really good with my glazes.
Every chip and chunk doesn't matter. because with something like this, if it's broken and there's sufficient depth just to put a little bit of earth in, you can just plant a plant in it, and even just pushed into the ground and then having something growing out to the ground up through it, it tends to have that architectural effect. So I decided for that reason, it came home. It did. It came home. And I've also got...
Oh, he's also got...
I did say on camera that I was going to bring this home with me. Because... And I noticed afterwards that when you ventured down, you found some blue.
Because we hadn't spoken to each other.
Because we hadn't...
It probably came off that.
It probably came off whatever this was on. But I think that is... As I said, that is such a neat handle. Obviously, it's lost a lot of its gold leaf now because it's been in the dump for so long. But I would imagine that was quite a statement piece when it was whole.
What that was like whole. It must have been quite substantial by the curvature on this. You can see it was quite.
And to carry off something that size on the side, you've got to be talking, a fair width. You've got to be about a foot wide.
Like, if it was like a footed urn like that, it's probably about 18 inches tall.
And it was glazed inside and out. And with the gold leaf as well, it was obviously a posh piece.
Oh, it's a bit of posh, that.
That was a posh piece. For the Welsh Valleys, that was a very posh piece from its day.
I tell you what, I saw it, and let's see if I can show you what I could see when Phil picked it up. Because I hadn't had a good look at this, so I can't do it now. It looked like a tractor to me. There you can sort of see. I looked down, a tractor on a racing car with two people in. There, and that's the back there. Then that's the front of the car. I know it isn't.
Or a toboggan.
A toboggan, yeah, it looks like a toboggan.
Toboggan.
Whee!
But it's not really, it's a handle.
Yes.
Right there. Do we want to have another question?
Of course we want to have another question. Let's go for one.
Okie dokie. This question is related to the video Buy This Find, which was the Slimline 2-ounce OXO bottle, which has had one dickens of a ding on our side. See it there? I did mention the ding on camera, but you can see it quite clearly now. And it's had a bit of a whacker on the back and all. So it's had a whack and a ding, but as I said, that proves just what a sturdy design these little pots were. With Bovril and Marmite, I don't think we've got one to hand, but we've got a big huge one, but they tend to be more out this way as well and down. They're twice the width that way, and so therefore this one looks quite odd and disproportionate. But I personally prefer this to the other style. And we see a lot less of these. And the reason we see a lot less of these was because OXO moved on. OXO didn't just stick with their pot of goo, but they developed and advanced and created the OXO cube. Yes. And my question is with regards to the OXO cube, which was invented, as I'm sure you all know,
Mr. Cube.
In 1910. That's when it was invented. It was invented by OXO in 1910. They did some experiments, and of course, Marmite is still going, Bovril's still going, but you don't see jars of OXO now because you see boxes of cubes, which were probably a lot better for people because you just take one, crumble it. But did you know?
I think Bovril still does jars of it.
OXO.
The Bovril.
Bovril do jars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Marmite do jars.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought yes.
Yes.
I was thinking then.
Replay the video.
Okay, I was over there looking for a jar.
No, I said they both threw the jars, but OXO moved on because they developed their little cube, which they could sprinkle up. And interestingly enough, they were initially hand wrapped. Now they're machine wrapped these days, each individual cube, but they were hand wrapped originally.
Oh, what a job!
They were all wrapped in foil individually. So my question is, the OXO cube invented in 1910. How many individually hand wrapped OXO cubes were provided to the British Armed Forces during the First World War? Was it A, 100 million? Was it B, 10 million? Or was it C, 1 million?
Go!
Okay, so OXO, perfect, I suppose, for people that are on campaign somewhere. It's something you just add hot water to, and it gives you something tasty and hot. So they supplied these to the British Armed Forces. What number did they supply? How many? Was it A, 100 million individually wrapped OXO cubes? Was it B, 10 million individually wrapped OXO cubes? Or was it C, 1 million individually wrapped OXO cubes?
I got it
That's
wrong.
the question.
I wanted to get it wrong.
There we go. Oh, the answers are still coming in. The
Right,
answers
well,
still
the
coming
answers
in.
are coming in.
Oh, they're coming in thick and fast.
Lucinda said, Phil, that broken bit you showed, you could always just put an air fern in it. They don't need dirt. And I still say Phil should start up his own channel too and call it In the Shed with Phil. Maybe when Phil retires, he could go for that.
Well, there's a
So-
guy who drives around here and he's got his own little minibus firm and he's called it Fill the Bus.
Yes.
Fill the Bus. So perhaps, due to the fact I can't get in my shed because I put so much in it, I should call it Fill the Shed.
No, filled the shed.
I filled the
Past
shed.
tense. Oh, hello, Karen.
Ooh. Right. Well, here we go. Let's have a look here. Oh, wow, we've got lots and lots. Thank you, everyone, for taking part in the quiz. It's great fun to see everybody having a go.
Yes.
And
but
we've
has
got lots and
anybody
lots
got
and
the right
lots of
answer?
answers in. Oh, they have indeed.
Yes.
They have indeed.
Well, to sort of break
But-
the news to you, I was middle of the road.
There's a fair spread of answers,
Yep.
and I would say that it's pretty much even Stevens. Perhaps the middle of the road got the edge, but it was 100 million.
That's a lot.
100 million individually wrapped OXO cubes were provided to the British Armed Forces during World War One. That's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
100 million. And the first person to say A was, they're on a podium again, but this time it's the gold one, Sharon Paget.
Oh, well done, Sharon.
And then, lovely to see you on a podium again, back in your place, Mike Sage.
Well done, Mike.
Mike's a great competitor, and it's good to see you taking the silver there, Mike. And then, another regular up on the podiums, Rachel Bailey.
Well done, Rachel.
So there we are, Sharon, Mike and Rachel. You take the 3 podium places. And as I say, there was a fair few Bs, a couple of Cs, and a few A's come in towards the end, but they were the top 3. I thought that was worthy of putting in as a question. I always like to try and find questions where the answer is a little bit, wow, I never knew that.
Where the answer isn't China.
Yes, but it's nice to have things that people will know then. And they think, I know something now. I know 100 million individually wrapped OXO cubes.
Oh, thank you, Lucinda. I love you too. You really make my days brighter and I've made life less boring. Oh, that's really kind of you. Thank
that's so
you.
kind.
Glad you enjoy it.
Oh, that's
It was nice to have you along on our journeys and our silliness.
I
A bit
know.
of fun on a Saturday evening. We love taking everybody with us. Well, I'm
Indeed.
always talking to you and telling you to change your shoes, aren't I?
Yes, you were warning people who had high heels on.
Oh, too dangerous, too
Yeah.
dangerous. I know you like to glam up,
Well-
some of you, when you come out for an adventure with us, but you really need suitable footwear.
According to Ed's comments last night, he was wearing Crocs.
Oh, you still could do something a little bit more mud resistant some of the places we go.
Has anyone out there ever encountered fish flops? Not flip-flops, fish flops.
Fish flops.
Yes, I've come across them today.
Oh, they put your feet in fish mouth things.
Yes, they
I've
are.
seen those.
They're like a sandal that's the shape of a fish, and your toes stick out through the mouth of the fish as if he's eating your foot. The gentleman we were doing the search for today, he was wearing those before they were a thing. So a lot of his mates are wearing them today, and I actually saw for the first time somebody wearing a fish on their feet. Fish flops. There they are. So that's interesting footwear, but not suitable for walking on that hill.
No, it was steep, terribly steep, wasn't
Well,
it?
such was the angle as you came down, and I walked. If I slipped, then the caul duff, as I call it, the waist, rolls down so quickly, it goes into your boots just like water would. And I was walking up and my feet were hurting because my boots were getting filled with all bits of coal and grit and goodness knows what. Okay, shall we have some happy news?
Let's have some happy news.
Happy. There we are. People saying how happy they're feeling. Let's give them happy news.
I don't know. Rachel said maybe high-heeled wellies will give you some extra traction on those slopes. That would be good. Or even you could have like an automatic high heel, so you could walk on the flat quite comfortably. But if you were on soft soil, you could press a little button. These heels would shoot down and work as a bit like golf studs.
Well, we
have some silly inventions in our heads, don't we?
Yeah, we've got a few comments here. Lexi saying, "Seen them horrid things."
Not
Which
popular.
Charlotte, yes, my daughter's boyfriend has them. Anne Goodwin's mentioned them. Faraway Portal hopes we find a pair to show on the next show. I should have took a photo of the guy's feet that stood next to me, because he's there in a suit and a tie and everything, and a pair of fish flops on his feet.
He looked really glamorous.
Because the chap that we were doing the service for, this lovely young man, and he used to love his strange footwear, and they had rules that you had to turn up for the annual club dinner, because he played for the rugby club, the annual club dinner in a shirt and tie. And he came in a shirt and tie and a pair of shorts and his fish flops.
I imagine that lowered the tone a little bit.
May it then. But it was lovely to see people celebrate in that way. But but people have seen them. People have seen them. There we go. It was a new thing on me. I hadn't heard of them before. You going to go with you happy news, darling? Go on then.
Here we go. Apparently I have a short one today.
Yes, you do.
Parks.
Big right then.
Oh, there we go. I'll be all right then. Parks provide off-road wheelchairs. Tennessee has become the latest state to launch a program offering all-terrain electric wheelchairs to visitors at 22 of its state parks. These allow disabled users to explore the beauty of the volunteer state scenery for free to all kids and adults. This is a quote, "We're trying to extend accessibility so everybody feels welcome and invited to come to Tennessee State Park," said the Deputy Commissioner. Tennessee resident Mary Lou said, "I thought with a spinal cord injury I would never be able to enjoy a nature trail again, and these chairs have just opened up that world again for me." Wow, that must make a huge difference, thinking, you're never going to get out and about, you're never going to see the countryside again. Even if you can go to the local shopping mall or something, you're never going to get any further, and then you get a chance of an off-road wheelchair.
Yeah, off-road electric wheelchairs.
Yeah.
But they did say, for those in Tennessee, if you know anybody who's thinking, right, I'm going to the park, they did say it's worth going on the website, because it may be worth booking, because there's only a limited number at each park, as you can imagine. They haven't got 100 there or anything. But I thought it was good. And they're not the only state, they're the latest state to do this. It mentioned several other states have done in the past, but Tennessee has now launched this in 22 of their national parks. And as Caroline said, and I know it is something that comes through in the comments quite often when people say, "I love coming with you on your adventures because I'm no longer able to get out and go myself. So it's marvellous to be joining you through YouTube." So I thought it's probably going to resonate with some people, because they have that experience of not being able to get to the places you could once go. Well, we went through it for quite a time due to health issues, so we were unable to do some of the things we wanted to do. And we're still far more careful now than we were, but still end up because although we were on that mountainside and it was moving, there was no sheer drop.
No.
When I did slip a few times, when I slipped, I just had to carry on down until I passed a tree.
And if the worst comes to the worst, we could just slid right down to the river and then walked
along the path
and then up the main
hang around, walk quarter of a mile to get back to where we were.
So we were okay.
But so although it was genuinely very steep and it was moving, there wasn't the danger of fall. And if you fell, one advantage of working on that stuff, it was soft. It was soft because it was moving. It was soft. It was more dangerous when we were with Tom that day on one dump, and the ground had become almost fluid in parts, and we nearly lost you, didn't you? You can't just drop through.
I think there'd been a bottle digger digging it. They were terrible for digging tunnels.
Yeah.
How they didn't get killed, I don't know. And it all just collapsed. I trod on something, and the ceiling of the tunnel went, and I went down. And that wasn't fun. Right,
Well, we've got-
Phyllis was saying she has 3 of those all-terrain vehicles at the outdoor school where she's a volunteer. That's brilliant.
Oh, lovely.
That makes all the difference, doesn't it?
And we've got a hello from South California from Nama Alonso. Just
Is
there,
that true?
saying hello from South
Oh,
California.
hello there,
Hello
South
there.
California. Or Southern California.
Yeah, Southern California.
And where's it gone? Lucinda Lanfear said, I watch your older videos many times in the evenings and I've seen you both get wet. Phil especially.
Yes.
I always get a laugh, never a dull moment with you two. Have you seen, we put a video out and it's all the time, well not all the times, a
There
lot
is
of
a
the time,
compilation video of
Phil falling
my
in the water.
getting wet. There is one
He's
out
an
there.
expert at getting wet.
We struggle to get videos now because of just being able to get the time and the locations that we can go to easily and film. So whenever there's fine weather, I'm not working, Caroline's got the freedom to go, we just jump in the car and go and film when we can. But during COVID, of course, things were a lot tighter, so that's when we created a number of compilation videos, because it meant we could keep everything flowing even when we couldn't get out and about as much. And one of those is me falling in the water. Yeah,
Yes.
but you are right. I have fallen several times. I have been seen on more than one video wringing out my socks. But when I fell in the water, it's in Switzerland.
Well done, you didn't say Sweden.
I didn't say Sweden. I've never been to Sweden, but I keep telling people I have because I keep mixing it up with Switzerland. Sorry to all the Swiss. Sorry to all the people from Switzerland. Sweden, it's just my brain. But when we were in Switzerland at Interlaken, and I fell in the lake in my sandals. I don't wear socks with sandals, so at least my socks didn't get wet. But that was cold.
It was coming straight from the icy peaks of the mountains.
Yeah, you could see the snow on the mountains and the water running down. It was melted snow and it was filling the lake. And it was jolly freezing when I fell in there. Okay, shall we have another question?
Another question, here we go.
Hello.
Me.
This question is connected to this find. Now, when I say connected to, it's well, it is. It's a good link, but it's not with regards to the jar itself or the product it held. I don't actually know what product this held. Perhaps you will, because it says on each side, it says the word Kepler. And underneath, it tells me that it's the Wellcome organization. Now, they do medicines and things these days. So I don't know what was in there, but that is one dark amber bottle.
Very dark.
Very dark amber bottle. But what I want to pick up on is the word Kepler. Because the question is, Johannes Kepler was a key figure in the 17th century. He's from Germany. He was an astronomer, a mathematician. He also wrote music, amongst many other things. But for which of those is he most famous, even today? Was it A, as a composer? Was it B, as a mathematician? Or C, as an astronomer?
Go!
Okay, so Johannes Kepler, a very key figure, 17th century Germany, he is famous for one of his activities. He's, what do they call him? A polymath. You get these people in history, they're polymaths. They are very good at numerous things. And he was. But he has become famous for being, was it A composer? Have you ever heard of a composer called Kepler? Have you ever heard of a mathematician? That's B, Kepler. Or have you heard of an astronomer? Kepler. Because, as I say, he was all three, but there's one that makes him famous today.
You know what I'm going for. I got it wrong. I really wasn't sure. But I was wrong. Oh, let's have a look. Something here I wanted to... Oh, I can't find it now. Ian Davis, there we go. I dug one of those today. Oh, they must all suddenly be resurfacing. Perhaps we've all got down to that layer
Was
now
that
where the
some-
Kepler bottles are.
some
Ian
you-
Davis has dug one today.
Yeah. It's quite interesting that they
I-
stuck to the word right the way around the top. On each side, they just put Kepler, 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 Kepler.
What I found interesting is look how shiny this bottle is. Now, you know, a lot of the bottles we find are really
Yeah.
sick.
And-
But that one is in really good condition.
Yeah, and a lot of the bottles that we found on this occasion, there we are, here's an example, from the same dump.
You're certainly not shiny.
Very sick. But at the same time, it's got to be just the type of glass they use.
It could be the colouring, because the colouring cuts out sunlight. Perhaps it makes it the glass tougher
Stops
as
it
well.
from-
Perhaps it
yeah.
doesn't scratch so easily and things like that.
Because this one's quite sick, and that's brown.
Hmm.
That's got a bit of sick on it. You know, sick is just where they go that strange
Yeah, so it's got a bit of sick
effect
on
on it, and no matter how
He
much
hasn't
you
thrown it.
wash and clean it, it doesn't seem to want to come off. Right then, let's tell you who got it right.
Go on then.
In fact, I'll tell you what the right answer is, and then I'll be able to tell you who got it right.
Go on then.
Because the correct answer is, although he did all of those things and more, his fame is as an astronomer. Because you have Kepler's 3 laws of the planets. The most famous of which is his discovery that whereas until he came along, everyone knew that planets went around one another, but they believed the orbit was circular, whereas he showed that it was elliptical. So that was his most famous law. But he has 3 laws of Kepler's laws of astronomy. So we're looking for C, which means the first correct answer in was a man with a spanner. Ed.
Well done, Ed.
Oh, gold for you tonight, Ed. Dan Fetters is on silver.
Well done, Dan.
And we can't keep Sharon Paget away.
Oh, well done, Sharon.
Back, taking another podium, taking a bronze. There we go. Yeah, Mr. Kepler, famous for... Today, is still famous for his astrology
There we go.
discoveries. So there we go.
Right, Nama Alonso said, I just hope one day you will find that gold coin, or as you call it, the gold doubloon. Love your finds. Oh, I would love to find something substantial in gold. Wouldn't it be wonderful?
Ah, it would.
It might happen, but I don't think it's not likely. But I live in hope. There's nothing wrong with having a bit of hope.
Absolutely not. But what I love is that making these videos, which is why we do what we do, it's one of those circular things. We do what we do to make a video. We make a video so that we can meet with you. And then we meet with you and talk about the things that we do. And then we go and do them again so we can make another video so we can talk. So it's that circular motion. So what we find has got its place. But in all honesty, it's not as important as seeing the names come up regular. Like I say, seeing Rufus back, because I hadn't seen him for a little while, and then realise why. Because
He's been off sunning himself while we've all been cold and wet in Wales.
yes, after that famous joke told by Max Boyce of people in Port Talbot, can't tell the difference between the sun and the moon. He goes off and sees the sun, but I did notice yesterday he was saying it gets a little bit too hot on times. And I can believe that out there. But, you know, it's nice to see new names coming in. It's nice to see the old names and old faces, and it's just great. So finding a gold doubloon would be marvellous. But turning up on a live show and seeing 52 people in, that is joy in itself.
It is lovely. It's a bit of a squash fitting you all in the house on a Saturday evening, but we don't complain. If we get too many coming in, we can always knock a wall down to put two rooms into one. So just keep coming along. It's not a problem.
So I'll come back to this bottle because although it is in a bit of a bad way, it's got... sometimes I think they look quite nice when they've got that patina on
They're
them.
pretty when they've got lights inside them when they're like that.
But that's Patterson's of Glasgow. And it was so funny on the film because I was saying, I know that from somewhere. I know that from somewhere. What could it be? Was it Camp Coffee? Was it Camp Coffee? And then we turned it over, and although it's very faded, it says on there, Camp Coffee and Chicory. So this was one of the early bottles of Camp Coffee and Chicory. Another creation made for the forces, but this time out in India, as they were looking for a means to take coffee with them when they were travelling. So there we go. That's one of our bottles. And I have a confession to make.
Oh, right. Go on then.
Because I really don't need any more of these, but I just can't leave them behind. Am I the only person who just, when I come across something like that, which is over 100 years old, and it's been thrown out in the rubbish, and it is lay in the ground, and it has been moved perhaps by earth movers and all sorts, and it survived, I just think, I gotta take it home. And I must stop because I haven't got any room. But I don't know. I think they're beautiful and it's lovely to see. And this one's actually got a flaw that was there from the start. Just along the edge there. I don't think... Can you see that? Just there. There's a ridge of glass. Where this was pressed out, there was a slight gap in the mould. And that sharp glass there, where it's just... That would have been there. That flaw... But you didn't throw things, oh, it's a bit sharp, but not throwing it away, it's a good bottle. So they used it anyway, whatever was in it.
You could use it as a knife, couldn't you?
Yeah, but that's quite sharp on the edge there. You can just see it on that bottom edge there. That there is a ridge from the original a flaw in the mould, which I thought was gold. I just love things like that. I just find them so intriguing. But I must learn to leave things behind. I really must.
Talking about Max Boys, I just picked this up from under the table. I picked this up in a charity shop the other day. Look at that. It's Yogi 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 Max Boyce songbook. If I show you this Max Boyce, that's his name. If ever you fancy listening to a Welsh singer, he's got some really funny songs as our Max Boyce. Don't sing anything.
No, I won't.
No, he must even say some words, otherwise you'll get us
I tell you
in
what,
the naughty corner.
Put in Max Boyce lockdown poem. I discovered it this week. I didn't realise that he had, because he's done some wonderful poetry and some brilliant lyrics. And later this year, my eldest is taking me to see Max Boyce. But I've never seen him live, so that'll be great. And he's getting on a bit now.
Yes, yeah.
But he's still good. But he did what he calls the lockdown poem. But what I can share with everybody, I think, is joke about Port Albert.
I think you can.
I think I could do that. For those who are wondering what was the joke about Port Albert. Now I should explain.
Change the word slightly and then we're not going to get...
Port Albert is in the news at the moment because sadly they've just closed number 5, I believe it is. It's furnace, and number 4 is about to go, and that will be the end of liquid steel production, I believe, in the UK and definitely in South Wales. And over 2,000 jobs are going to go, and it's very sad because the communities around here have been hit massively in the past and now again. But I accept it's progress. They look into the future. But during his heyday, when it was really going some, there was a lot of pollution. Just for those who don't know the area, a lot of pollution. So, Max Boyce says, 2 men arguing in the street. The one says, look at that moon. And the other says, don't be daft. That's the sun. He goes, no, it's the moon. He said, I'm telling you, it's the sun. He said, we'll ask this chap here. He said, excuse me, boyo, is that the moon or the sun? And he said, I don't know. I'm from Port Albert. So there we are. That was the Port Albert joke by Max Boyce.
So there we go. Well, shall we move on because it's nearly 10 to 10. So I'll show you another find.
Lexi and her mum were saying, is he still alive? And all of a sudden I said, I'm going to see him. So they're open ears.
Yeah.
Yes, he's still going. Still going.
We've got this. Do you remember me showing you this? And I don't think it's a weight because it's not heavy enough. It's got some copper in it. Now I've been thinking, and the only thing I can come up with is a battery cell. Has anybody else got any ideas what that could be? I'll show you it. It's metal and obviously some copper somewhere. That's
kind of soft. As I was brushing it, it's not soft to press, but as you rub it, it comes away. So I would say possibly a battery cell of some kind.
I'm thinking you'd perhaps get a stack of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Would you like...
Would I like...
a question...
I thought you were going to say a bar of chocolate.
Related to... I found a ball! Okay, folks. Before I give you this question, can I just say, if anyone's watching from Spain, best of luck tomorrow. If anyone's watching from England, best of luck tomorrow.
You shall remain neutral.
There we are. I will remain neutral to some degree. But I know there's a lot of excitement just across the bridge because England, I don't think, have got to this stage for a long, long time. And if they win tomorrow, I think it could be the greatest achievement since 1966 when they won the World Cup. So there's a lot of excitement here in the United Kingdom and particularly in England over that. And what do we find on this week when they are in the final tomorrow, the UEFA? We find a rather large ball. It's usually golf balls, isn't it? Usually golf balls. But this time, it was a football, which obviously somebody had kicked and it had gone down a steep bank. And
they weren't going to find it.
They'd given up on the idea. But I have a football question. Who designed the first soccer ball made of vulcanized rubber in 1855? Now, they had soccer balls before that. They had balls of this size before that. But they were not made of vulcanized rubber. And the first man to do it, was it A, Giovanni Pirelli? Was it B, Charles Goodyear? Or was it C, Andre Michelin?
Go!
So there we go. All famous for tyres. We got Mr. Goodyear's tyres on our car.
We have.
We used to have a Michelin on there, but that's gone now. That was on there from the previous owner. But yeah, Pirelli, Goodyear, Michelin. If you think it's Pirelli, then that's A. If you think it's Goodyear, that's B. If you think it's Michelin, that's C. One of those guys, back in 1855, decided to make a football from vulcanized rubber.
Well, I'm going to go for the nicest sounding one because I haven't got a clue.
Here we go.
I like being wrong.
Indeed. But then again, that gives nothing away because beauty is in the year of the beholder. So the nicest sounding one might not be the same to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look here.
Which one did I think was the nicest sounding? Pirelli.
Right. Close, Lexi, but it's not China. They're probably turning out most of the footballs today. I wouldn't mind betting this one's possibly made in China, is it? I don't know. Let's have a look. What's the country of origin on there? I don't know. But China is not an option this time. So, where we going? It's Charles Goodyear. So it's B, which means we have a gold podium for Mr. Dan Fetters.
Well done, Dan.
Oh, he's up there again. And we've got a B from West Country Mudlarks.
Well done, West Country Medlocks.
And we've got a B from... It's Mike Sage again.
Well done, Mike.
And just an honorary mention, because before we start going into A's and C's, there was one more B. We had first four answers were B. So I'm going to give a special mention to Rachel Ramey.
Well done, Rachel.
Rachel got there as well. So it's Dan, West Country Mudlarks, and Mike. They've taken the podiums today on that one.
And hot off the press, in tiny little words, says made in Pakistan.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see if I can focus you in on it. There you go, look at
So
that.
there we go. It wasn't China. That one wasn't. That was in made in
And this
Pakistan.
apparently is for control. Suitable or built for control. There we go.
Yeah, they kind.
I won't throw this around too much because I can't throw to save my life and I'll break something.
I looked and the prices of those balls, they're not this one, but the prices of the balls start at around about sort of £12-14 and they go up to like £100 for a
Yeah,
ball.
this one's a replica. It's a Delta replica, so
yeah,
I wouldn't have
it's
thought
for
this
training, it says.
And it doesn't have taken a beating. Look at the state on it.
Well, as I was wiping it, because it's been down that dump so long, as I was wiping it, some of the pattern was coming off.
Some of the balls come off. Where is it? There. There's a big hole in it, but there. Poor thing. It's had a hard life.
Right.
There
Okay.
it goes.
What's the time?
The time is, it is
Time's
nearly
going.
5 to 10. So,
Time's
what are we
going.
going to do now?
What are we going to do now? Shall I do happy news?
Yes, you'll do your happy news. You're going to want a jingle.
Mischief turned out to be a makeover.
Ooh.
Mischief reigns in a small Canada community after a kidnapping left a man's garden vacant of the 10 ceramic garden gnomes that resided there. Kelly Blair woke up on a late June morning to discover his garden gnomes had been stolen from his yard.
Kidnap.
Kelly was distressed as he enjoyed the gnomes' company for years and would miss their weather-beaten down faces. Then, on July the 3rd, a knock was heard at the back door. Opening it, Kelly saw a mysterious old woman stood standing still, holding out an envelope addressed to the homeowner. He opened the envelope to discover a paper silhouette of a gnome with the words Gnome Restoration Society written down the middle. The woman, still saying nothing, then led Kelly to the back of her truck, where arranged neatly in boxes he saw all his gnomes smiling back at him from behind fresh coats of paint. The gnomes are home, he said. It's just totally made my day. He was amazed at the detail and pristine restoration these mischief makers undertook on behalf of his garden gnomes. Kelly said he would like to thank all those involved in the gnome restoration project. Thank you so much for this random act of kindness.
Well, it's quite a surprise, isn't it?
Now, I've got to be honest, I was in two minds about that.
I know, I'm thinking
'Cause
you
I
can
was
really
thinking-
devalue a gnome when you repaint it.
Yes, but I was also thinking, for those few days, poor old Kelly was thinking, somebody stole my gnomes. And in the full story, they were saying he'd had his canoe nicked a week or so before. So he was starting to think it wasn't a safe part of the world to live anymore because the thieves kept coming. So I thought perhaps they should have left a note
Yes.
from the gnomes saying, don't panic, we'll be back, honest, or something. Because he went through a week of sort of crying himself
Imagine
to
the
sleep.
police, and if the police had been called into it and they'd had a massive search.
But
it should have been
obviously,
painted.
all ended up well.
Yes, he's
It
happy
was
with his
a
gnomes.
random act of kindness rather than a random act of vandalism and theft. Right, shall we have another question? Because I reckon we could fit in another
Well, we
question
have to go
before
quick
the
then.
final question.
See what we can do.
Okay, folks, I don't have the find here, but Caroline speculated that one of the things she picked up while I was down the banking was a steel toe cap. And of course, there are a lot of those around these parts because we all wore them in the mines due to health and safety, as they do in many places. It was in the 1930s, though, as workplace safety began to be taken seriously, that the Red Wing Shoe Company started manufacturing steel-toed boots. Where did they produce them? In what country? Was it in A, the UK, B, the USA, or C, Germany?
Go. Oh, no, that's a really hard
What are you
one.
thinking? I was surprised that it was not longer ago. I thought maybe it would have been sort of the end of the 1800s or something, but it was in the 1930s
Oh.
because until then people just didn't think about it.
Okay, I know what I'm going with.
And
I
it
shouldn't,
became
but I'm
more-
going with it. Where's the answer to this one?
So it's the Red Wing Shoe Company, and they
knew
started manufacturing steel toe cap boots in the 1930s. In which country?
No, it wasn't Abercrombie, Rufus.
Close.
Sort of. Closer than the moon.
Yes. On another parallel universe, that could have been right. Okay, let's have a look, folks. What you are looking for is to give me a C, because actually it was in Germany.
I went for the UK. Completely wrong.
Well, you're not on your own, love. No, because out of the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 answers, 2 are correct, 3 said A and 3 said B. So you're not on your own. But who was correct? West Country Mudlarks, take a bow. You have got the gold podium on the penultimate question. Rachel Bailey's back again, taking a silver after a near miss last time. And then I've got to go down to, and I hope I've got this right, Faraway Portal.
Well done, Faraway Porter.
Faraway Portal. And no, Lisa, it wasn't Vochrew. But they were... So look. Oh, hang on, no.
Has he robbed somebody's place again?
No, I'm all right. No, I am right. But there were 2 more. There were only 5 correct answers, so a quick mention for Laura and for Rita. Because Laura and Rita also got it right. There were only 5 correct answers on the whole of the page. So Faraway Portal got the bronze. It was Rachel Bailey, I believe, on the silver, and West Country Medlarks on the gold.
Well then, West Country Medlarks, Rachel and Faraway Portal.
And now, that moment you've all been waiting for,
Here we go.
Mayhem with Monkey.
That groaning time of the day.
So we won't have we won't bother with the jingle. We'll go straight into it. How many places did you see Monkey in this week's video? No, how many places did I see Monkey in this week's video? How many places did Monkey turn up in this week's video? Go!
Go! Oh, give us an option here. We usually give
Why?
an option.
I forgot.
Well, it's too late now. We've said go. Oh, just make it up. We'll see how you get on.
Oh, that's a good idea. Look, they're all putting numbers in now.
Yeah, it's easier, isn't it? Right then, so how many did you say? Right, I can see. Oh, we got a few big... Faraway Paul said 8. That's a big one, but is it right? Oh, we got Lisa
This
Farr
is
said
more
8.
fun, isn't it?
Sandy Black said 8.
I love that. D. Dorothy Pam put down C. That's fantastic, because I haven't given an ABC now. There we go. Oh, this is working well. Come on, how many times did you see him? Right there, folks. We've got so many answers.
Oh, bye, Flower Girl. Enjoy that water, the dip in the lake. I wish it was warm enough for you to dip in the lake. It really isn't.
Here we go. My answer is 5. My answer is 5. Now, which is interesting because Ribble Finds and Crafts' answer is 4.
Ooh.
4 times and plus 1.
Plus 1 minute in Phil's pocket.
Right, no. First one is at the beginning in Phil's pocket.
All right, yeah.
That agrees with me. Second time by the game. Third time in Phil's pocket. Plus 1 Caroline waving Monkey at the top of the hill.
No, I was waving my grabby thingy.
I
wasn't on my way.
I'm going to give you the 5 now. You ready? You're correct. In my pocket. Then, here's where it's interesting. When I pointed back and said Monkey has set up a game of Play Not Patterned, Monkey was on the right-hand side of the log. But when we actually played the game, Monkey was on the left-hand side of the log.
He thought it would be clever. Sorry.
So therefore, Monkey was in
panda.
2 different places just before and during the playing of the game.
Sneaky.
Then we have In My Pocket at 13:05, as you said, and In My Pocket at... I'm getting confused myself. And In My Pocket at 32:04. So he was in my pocket at the beginning, he was on the right of the log, then he was on the left of the log, that's around 7 minutes, and then he was in my pocket at 13:04, he was in my pocket at 32:04, so we're looking for the first 3 people to have put down a 5, and the first one that I can see is West Country Medlarks.
Well done, West Country Medlarks.
Oh, and again it's Sharon Paget. I tell you,
well done, Sharon.
We've got some regulars on the post night, and thank you for being honest, Ed. But guesses count. 5 to Ed as well.
Well done, Ed.
So there we go, folks. Well, that's it. We're 4 minutes over time. People are running out and jumping into lakes.
I know.
They can't take no more.
Thank you ever so much for joining us. It's been great fun. Don't forget now to work on those Christmas or New Year recipes. When did we say we were going to have a party? Christmas, not New Year.
I don't know.
We were going to have a party. I think it may be Christmas. Remind me, when is our party? Because we need to start
We'll
coming
do
up
both.
with some... Yeah, we usually do, don't we? But what day is Christmas on? Is Christmas on a Saturday this year?
I've no idea. I don't think so.
No idea. Well, anyway,
We'll find
work
out.
that out.
Find out by next week.
And what perhaps I'll do is I'll put something up on the Facebook group, and then we can start working from there, decide who's bringing what, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Right then, so
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. I'm going to bed. So we'll see you all next time. But until then, don't forget.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
I did it wrong again. There we go.